r/ask Reddit. What made the weird kid at your school weird? He shit himself regularly, deliberately. Man, what a power move. I respect that. End any argument with this one neat trick. He walked around like Master Chief, even teabagged the ground randomly, all while holding an invisible assault rifle. I read that as Master Chef at first and pictured Gordon Ramsay walking around teabagging the ground. He always carried around a briefcase, but never opened it, sat on the briefcase during lunch, classes, etc. It was like the nuclear football, always in his hand or he was sitting on it. He carried it onto the stage during graduation, got his diploma. Right as he was leaving the stage, he opened it up and dumped a bunch of confetti on the principal. I guess it was the long con. No one questioned why he was carrying it on stage. He truly thought he was a dirt bike. He would run through the halls jumping off of lockers and make the shifting gears noises with his mouth. Absolute mad lad. Legit boss mentality. 100% alpha material right here. He was on a hair trigger, would snap and threaten people, suspended multiple times. 2 memorable incidents were when we freaked out at an art teacher, went to his locker and came back with a bullwhip. He made that thing snap and send everyone running. She barricaded herself in the supply room. Another time someone made the mistake of teasing him about something and everyone laughed, and he pulled a knife and screamed, "Who wants to be the first to die?" He was expelled and I'm not sure what became of him. He would have full conversations, arguments, and sometimes physical altercations with a brick column in the middle of the cafeteria. Who usually won? I don't think anyone won those. They usually made up though, as they would chat like normal the next day. Weird, I didn't have any weird kids in school. Oh no. Yep, as soon as I saw the question I was disappointed I couldn't out the weird kid at my school. I was the weird kid at my school. Caught him brown-handed. Beautiful. He was always running around in the shape of a 8. If you just said hello to him he started screeching and attacked you with his lunchbox, and once he ate a Kit Kat with a plastic. Heck, that makes the weird kid in my class look normal. She was afraid of cows and if you said moo or mentioned cows she'd freak out and attack you. I'll give it to her though, she'd even try to attack guys 3 times her size that were athletes. Sounds like she was milking it. There is a kid at my school and he can't put his laptop down. Eating lunch, on his laptop. As soon as he finishes a test, on his laptop. And we were all wondering what he could put his laptop down for. So one kid asked him. He was designing Minecraft skins and watching Minecraft videos. What a legend. His go-to excuse for not having homework finished was that he was traveling, even though he was at every class, and he never paid attention to anything but his fidget spinner unless he was talking. The way he spoke, he knew everything there was about creative writing, yet his submissions consisted of plots ripped off directly from anime. This was in a college class. I don't think you understood him. When he said traveling he meant through time. He keeps going back to the past, writing great stories to submit for class, and before he returns to the present he trips over an uneven brick and his original story flies out of his hand and is found by a Japanese man who turns it into an anime probably. I had a girl hiss at me in 5th grade, hadn't seen her in about 16 years, recently went to a party she was attending. She asked if I remembered her and said boy howdy. She hissed again. I always knew she was weird. I went to high school with the wolf kid from the meme. On all levels except physical. I am a wolf. Next image is him barking at the water. He called himself Wolfie, so I would say that guy. They thought they were an immortal vampire and walked around talking and acting the part. He would jack off in the middle of class. He didn't actually pull it out, but he would aggressively rub the side of his pants and his face would get really red while staring at the girls in the class. Everybody noticed but a word was never spoken about it. I knew a kid that would do that during math class while reading a book about kayaking. It was really distracting. Looking back, now that we know what it is, most of the weird kids I knew growing up probably had depression, were abused, or were autistic. There was a kid in my school who was obsessed with Mario. He had Mario sweatshirts and notebooks, and a Mario backpack. Well, someone figured out that if you told him Mario is dead he'd flip, scream and cry duck, you know he's not every time. He got in trouble multiple times for attacking kids who said anything about Mario dying, even if they were talking about in the context of Smash Bros or something. This happened 8th 10th grade, then I never saw him again. He whistled "Don't worry, be happy, always." Man just had a hell of an earworm for 4 years. The Vine where a kid goes "I have the power of God and anime on my side" and screams like a banshee went to my middle school. He was maybe 4 grades underneath me, but his weirdness turned him into one of the most popular kids in his grade. My town has the duck your chicken strips Vine. Dude literally wearing my school sweatshirt in the Vine. I think he graduated last year. Kid look exactly like T-Bag from Prison Break. Instantly was treated as if he had the same personality and so was seen as weird. He once asked me to be his gay slave, so I don't even know how to feel about that. I just wanted some Yu-Gi-Oh cards that I wasn't even going to use. When I was in kindergarten I brought cheesy broccoli in for show and tell. It was my favorite thing that my mom made to eat and I wanted to share it with everyone. I was really excited too and helped her prepare it the morning before school and thought everyone would think it was cool I brought something everyone could eat instead of something like a toy like most people. The rest of the class was not as excited as me and no one, except the teacher and I think maybe my friend Nick, ate any of it. I was a bit disappointed that nobody liked it, but at the same time was happy because it meant more for me. From that day on I was the weird kid that brought vegetables to show and tell. Luckily, my friend Nick was also weird and so was one that came to our class the next year, because although we were the weird kids of the class we weren't alone. Kid smelled like he bathed in cat pee every day, hissed at anyone who came near him, used to run through the hallways from class to class, threatened to kill me in a computer lab because I used Internet Explorer instead of Firefox. He was caught eating berries off of a tree branch in a compost trash can in 5th grade. He'd act feral around everyone else, but if you got to know the kid he was actually pretty down to earth and cool. In middle school around 6th grade I tried getting to know him better and found out he might have had some kind of multiple personality disorder, and was grateful for someone who didn't judge him that much. I'd try my best to not get him to do stupid shit. He was later expelled for what everyone said was biting a teacher. I saw him once during high school and he won. Got really ducking hot too. Seemed way chilled out. When I asked about why he left he said he wasn't allowed to talk about it but was getting help, so that's always good. Gabe, if you're out there I hope you're doing well. They would play tag and run around the cafeteria in high school. Acted extremely childish and had no manners. There were 2 of them. Half of me cringed from their doings. The other half envied their self-confidence and lack of care about what others thought. Edit. Pretty sure one was a furry. I personally thought he was alright, but he has the typical nerdy look. I think it was when people were stomping ants and he went into a crying rage threatening to kill the people responsible that made everyone see him weird. He ended up being the valedictorian for my graduating class, but his refusal to use a locker and carry all of his textbooks in his backpack led to severe back issues, resulting in him wearing a backplate throughout high school. I believe he also has Asperger's, so he wasn't social either. Had one girl in my year who had a weird obsession with our physics teacher. Then in a lesson learning about spinning forces she asked if she could show a cool video to the class. He said yes. The video was of her spinning on a pole in her underwear. When he sent her out she was yelling the whole way, "Why? Are you saying that pole dancing is sexual? Cause that's sexist." She wore butt skimming skirts with fishnet tights and corsets on non-uniform day as well. Always got sent straight home. They ended up expelling her when we were about 17. One walked around in high school with a stuffed possum and made it talk in class. Also went on a rant during a class debate about how much she hated Australia because a classmate from there rejected her. Had nothing to do with the debate topic. One claimed she was the CEO of her dad's company and made 1 million a year at 16. Also said she was the granddaughter of the King of Norway. She's not from Norway. Also tried to claim that her friend was killed during the 2011 Oslo terrorist attack. Again, not from Norway or Europe for that matter. Somehow I got classified as weird, but I'm really not sure why when I think about how many other weird kids went to my school. Whoa, you made it to the end? You're a ducking beast. I'll cut you a deal. Smash like and subscribe for more curated content, bruh. It's free and that's a great price.